Welcome back. So today our mission is really about tackling that classic administrative headache, the purchase requisition to purchase order process.
Right. It's traditionally been, well, let's face it, slow, very linear, basically an administrative checkpoint.
Exactly. And we're diving into how companies are trying to flip that script, turning it into something much more strategic, predictive even, really geared towards foresight.
That's the big shift we're seeing in procurement now. It's moving beyond just, ticking boxes.
Okay.
We're talking about speed, intelligence, foresight.
hmm
And underpinning this are two key ideas: adaptive approval logic and requisition intelligence.
All right, let's unpack adaptive approval logic first. This sounds pretty important. It gets rid of those super rigid fixed workflows, right?
Yeah.
Where every single request, big or small, goes down the same path.
Precisely. It replaces that with dynamic, data-driven routing. It adapts in real time based on what the request actually is.
So it stops treating like a $50 box of pens the same way as a huge capital investment.
Exactly. It uses context. Think conditional rule engines. A
Yeah.
really common one is value-based routing.
Okay. How does that work in practice?
Well, you set rules. Say anything under $500, maybe it's auto-approved or goes straight to the department manager. The CFO never even sees it.
Right. Saves their time for bigger things.
But flip side, high-value equipment, maybe over $50,000. That immediately gets flagged and escalated, needs multiple eyes on it, maybe finance, legal, the works.
Makes sense. But if you're streamlining the human review for the small stuff, does that add complexity elsewhere? How do you make sure you're not routing around real risk?
Good question. The idea is you shift the risk focus. You actually increase scrutiny where it matters most. That's where supplier intelligence comes in.
Supplier intelligence, like vetting vendors.
Sort of, but dynamically.
Hmm.
Pre-approved vendors. Strong compliance history. Their requests get fast-tracked. Minimal friction.
Okay.
But a new supplier. Or maybe one flagged for, I don't know, recent price hikes or delivery issues. Boom. Enhanced oversight is triggered automatically.
So you get speed for the routine, maybe 90% of requests.
Yeah, roughly. And maximum protection, deeper checks for that critical 10%.
Got it. So we've automated the flow using data points within each request. But what about zooming out? Looking at all those requests together as like a big data stream.
And that right there is requisition intelligence.
Yeah.
Every single requisition isn't just a transaction, it's a data point. Aggregate them and you start seeing patterns.
Patterns in what? Organizational behavior, future spending.
Both. You start seeing upcoming demand way before the PO is even cut. And what's really fascinating is how it spots these subtle issues, things you'd normally miss.
Give us an example. What kind of subtle things?
Okay, recurring demand is a classic. The system might notice, the engineering team buys the same specific supplies, same volume, around the 15th of every month, but they do it as separate ad hoc requests every single time.
Inefficient.
Totally. The intelligence flags that. It says, hey, maybe turn this into a blanket PO. Get volume discounts, cut the admin overhead. Simple win. It also flags bigger strategic risks.
Like being too reliant on one supplier concentration risk.
Absolutely. Analytics might pop up saying, hold on, 78% of your IT hardware is coming from vendor X.
Yeah.
That's a huge supply chain vulnerability if something goes wrong with them. You need to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
And it can even reveal hidden organizational stuff through, like, departmental behavior analysis.
How so?
Well, imagine a sudden spike in requisitions for external contractors, all coming from, say, the marketing department. The system flags it. That might not just be a temporary need. It could signal a deeper, maybe hidden staffing shortfall there. Needs HR to look at it strategically, not just procurement approving the POs one by one.
Okay, this sounds powerful, but let's talk limitations. What are the constraints here?
Yeah.
I mean, if these models rely so heavily on historical data, what happens when things change? Like a major company restructure or expanding into a totally new market? Doesn't the historical data become less useful, obsolete even?
You've hit the nail on the head. That's the core weakness, historical dependency. If the underlying patterns of the business shift dramatically, the models built on the past, they can become unreliable very quickly.
Right. And what about massive external shocks? Things like the pandemic, for example. Stuff historical data just cannot predict. That's often when you need predictability most, but the system might fail you then.
It absolutely limits the predictive certainty. Black swan events, by definition, break historical models. The past demand curves just don't apply anymore. But even without huge global crises, you've got the human factor, people gaming the system.
Yeah, like splitting orders.
Exactly. You implement a smart system with approval threshold, and people figure out, okay, if I keep my request under $500, it avoids the manager sign-off. So they split a $600 need into three $200 requisitions.
Creating new artificial patterns for the system to chase.
Precisely. It becomes a bit of a cat-and-mouse game.
So where does that leave us? What's the takeaway?
The takeaway is that these predictive systems are incredibly valuable, but they have to be seen as an input for decisions, not a replacement for human judgment.
Right.
Analytics are great at telling you what is happening. They show correlations, but they often struggle to tell you why. That jump from correlation to causation, that usually needs professional experience, context, human insight.
That insight is crucial. Okay, let's wrap up with a final thought for you, our listeners, to consider. If, in forecasting, getting 70 or 80% accuracy for spending over the next 3 months is considered pretty good,
Yeah, that's a common benchmark.
then how comfortable should you really be building critical long-term plans like staffing levels or major capital budgets for next year on predictive models that might only achieve, say, 50 to 65% accuracy over that full 12-month horizon? Maybe understanding the confidence level of the prediction is more strategic than the prediction itself.